I'm on the track today. We're gonna do an acceleration workout. It's gonna be pretty simple. We're gonna do some lateral bounds, some single leg broad jumps, and then basically some weighted and unweighted accels. Basically today's about power. I'm trying to get out of these starts quicker. I find I stand up a lot, so I'm gonna go weighted sleds today out of a kneeling position to really try and push that horizontal angle. And yeah, let's get after it. With these lateral hops, I'm not really trying to jump as far as possible. I'm trying to bend my knee as much as I can. I'm trying to get as deep into it as I can, and I'm trying to keep that inside edge of my foot. I don't want to spill over the top, and I don't want to be super stiff. I really want to yield into it to get some extra range out of my knees, and this is more of just prep, getting ready to get into deeper knee angles for sprinting. Okay, next up we're going to do single leg broad jumps. Pretty simple. We're going to jump one, land two. Going to reset each time. We're going to do 3 each leg. This is really like a hinge and just sort of that good hip extension out of a start. That's sort of what we're working on here. So when I do these, I do want to make sure I have a bit of a bend in my knee so that it's somewhat similar to a starting position. I don't want to go like straight leg and just hinge and throw myself. I do want to get a little bit of a bend so that I can project it out. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably a little less than 7 yards. That was like 8.5. All right, second set, and then we're done. That was left foot. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 yards. Let's go right foot. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 7. Full yard shorter. To the sprints. Okay, so I lied. I do have to do one thing before the sprints. We're going to do speed bounds. So I got, I think, 2 or 3 sets of 30 yards. I'm horrible at these. These are probably my worst thing, so the thing I need to get better at. But yeah, I'm going to do them. Of all the drills, I don't know if I would consider bounding a sprint drill, but I guess for argument's sake it is. Of all the drills, I think bounding is the best. It has the most physical component to it. Like, it has probably the most potential to actually cause an adaptation in your ankles, around your knees, joints, tendons, all that good stuff. But it also is by far the hardest skill to get down. Like, learning A-skips, you can learn A-skips in a day if you're coordinated, a week to be decently good at them. Bounding takes a while, unless you're like really natural. If you're really natural, you have good mobility. Some people get it really quickly, but compared to the other drills, I think bounding just has so much carryover. It's also super aggressive. Like, if I want to do an A drill, I can sort of be as aggressive as I want. Like, I can do a really sloppy A. Like that. There's not really anything happening there. I'm not bouncing off the track. I'm sort of just being lazy with it. When it comes to bounding, you can't really do that. You have to be aggressive. Otherwise, you're just going to stop. You're either going to fall over, or you're just going to have to literally stop and, you know, shuffle your feet to come to a stop, because you're just not going to be going anywhere. So it forces you to really put pressure down, put effort into the ground, and really push yourself forward. And if you've never done it before, go just try and bound. Like, really try and do it right. Try it really hard, and you'll be fine. Like, you might be a little sore the next day, but you'll notice it. Like, it's hard on your ankles, it's hard on your Achilles, your patellar tendon, it's hard on your knees if you've never done it before. It is like a very aggressive, very highly stimulating thing to do. All right, last one. Also, because you're working really hard and you do it, it is tiring. Like, those are sets of 30 yards. And by the time I hit the 20-yard mark, like, I can feel myself starting to lose the form for sure. So, you know, I'm training to run like a 40-yard dash, but it'll help me there with like a little bit of just capacity to keep the speed through the end of it. But if you're someone who runs longer, like if you're a track athlete, obviously having that capacity in your hip flexors is just going to be a huge deal. and it's going to make your top end speed way more sustainable. The main thing for the day, and what I'm going to finish with, is a superset of 10-yard weighted accels from a half kneeling position. So I'm going to be down on one knee, and I'm going to push from there to accel. I'm going to superset those with 20-yard unweighted sprints from a. I have it put in for a 3-point, but I'm going to do it from a 4-point because I've liked working the 4-point recently, and I think the 4-point helps a bit more with just getting better at that horizontal angle, because you can't be as upright, and it's harder to, like when you're in the 3-point, because one arm's free, I think it's easier to start and to get your feet under you. The 4-point, you really have to push forward and get your feet under you like fast, otherwise you're gonna fall on your face. So we're gonna do it from a 4-point. Pretty light sled. I'm only doing it with 10 kilograms really, because the kneeling start is sort of hard to get out of to begin with. So I just want something to push against, a little bit of resistance. I don't want to put too much on it where it's like really slow getting out. I do want to still be kind of snappy getting out into the start. I usually run during the week here, but I think I'm going to switch the acceleration sessions to Sundays, because this place is empty. Like, I'm running at Politecnico in Milan, university obviously. So they have a gym, they had a basketball court in there, which I've never used because it's not open to the public, you have to rent it. Then they have this whole track that's public use, but also they have like people who rent it. So there's one like sort of like daycare kids camp going on in the middle of it, but other than that it's empty right now. And any other time I've been here during the week, this place has been busy. And busy enough where sometimes if you're using equipment like the sleds and stuff, it can cause a bit of an issue. So I think Sunday's the day. All right, so this is the last one. Overall, pretty good session. My hip flexor's kind of hurting me. I did something to it like a week and a half ago. I think it's a hip flexor issue. It kind of also could be like a sports hernia type thing, because I do feel it quite a bit when I deadlift. But like it hurts, but it doesn't really prevent me from doing anything. So kind of just going through it right now. Not too worried about it, but I did feel a little bit on that last one. So last one up is left knee forward, weighted sled, and then 20-yard accel.